Thank you, and I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to share some great tips and things going on in our realm regarding kind of just how our landscape has changed over the last year. As we know, 2020 has been a crazy year, so being able to adapt to some of the things in our industry, you almost have to move at a rabbit's pace. So I'm excited to kind of share some things here this morning, and I'll kind of jump right in here with a couple of things that I think are kind of pertinent to cover at the top of the call here before we jump into really some of the changes we've seen. So in 2017, we took a survey of all of our business customers and asked what things are the most important focus areas for you guys when you're running your business. And I'm sure a lot of you on the call will take a look at this list here and see a number of things. There may be some things that aren't on there, but you know, a lot of these things are the primary focuses. And in 2017, when we took this is kind of how they fall out. And going into 2020, I'm pretty sure a lot of these things are very similar. Some of the answers are very similar, but they might be reorganized or restructured now because of how the times have changed. And when I think about what I've kind of seen from my perspective and my point of view, as you know, a payments representative and also a consumer, you know, I think about just going to the store nowadays or ordering food. You know, you say ordering food now because, you know, that's pretty much what everybody does is they order their food online. We still go out and stuff, but ordering food has really rapidly changed here in 2020. So, you know, just accepting payments nowadays, just accepting debit and credit cards isn't enough. You know, we really have to take a look at, you know, how our customers are wanting to make payments to our fellow business owners. And, you know, when I think about some of the things that we've seen that have changed as far as trends go, contactless payments is going to be right up towards the top of that list. You know, we see a lot of places promoting it, a lot of places offering it now, just because people are very conscious about touching surfaces. So, you know, contactless payments prior to pandemic was supposed to hit an all-time high in 2020, but you know, the pace that we've seen contactless payments, you know, go up has been tremendous. You know, another thing we take a look at, as I mentioned, ordering. You know, online ordering for restaurants and for takeout has gone up substantially as well too. You know, people want to either have something delivered to them now, or they do, you know, curbside takeout, which has also grown as a trend. On the retail side, we think about curbside pickup, ordering our groceries, you know, ordering, you know, things from retail stores and having them delivered to our car, where we do all of our shopping mainly online. In the business-to-business realm, we've seen quite a bit of a shift from the paper invoices and billing statements to electronic billing and invoicing that is being now sent to customers. And that actually has helped out with the 30, 60, 90-day return times. You know, people are able to pay a little bit faster when you have the electronic invoice. Also, we're seeing a massive spike with businesses that are shifting towards accepting payments online, whether that be for a donation for a nonprofit, a payment or a purchase for retail, or you know, a payment for a healthcare visit. All of that stuff has gone up substantially. So needless to say, we've been pretty busy here in 2020 helping out our customers meet their particular needs. The thing that we also want to think about is it's also offering convenience for us as consumers. You know, it's more convenient for us to be able to do things now, you know, make payments on our own time, make purchases online, be able to order food. You know, as a parent, it's nice to come home and, you know, if we have extra stuff going on with work, we have the ability to, you know, order something on our phone real quick and have it delivered. So that convenience factor is also there with all of the new ways to accept payments. And that's kind of the trend that we have seen. So I'm going to move here to the next slide. So I really like this slide because the first sentence really, I think, stands out for really what we've all experienced in 2020. It just says, the new year brought new challenges for small businesses and consumers alike. The pandemic has put a laser-like focus on safeguarding the cardholder payment experience and providing new ways of doing business. I think that just really kind of defines what we've seen in some of those trends that I talked about. Payments is the essential part and kind of the backbone of the business, because, having that cash flow come in, electronic payments is about 60% now. As we hear the whispers of going to a cashless society, we know that the majority of how we pay and how we do commerce is done electronically. So, that is a huge topic. Might not always be the funnest one to talk about, but it is essential for us to talk about. So we talked about providing a contactless experience, and how I had mentioned that has increased. And like I said, we had seen that increasing about 25 to 30% year over year from 2019 to 2020. And they're anticipating within the next 5 years that would have hit its high. Well, we've seen a new high, and I like the illustration here with the fact that it says 31 million people taps and did contactless in March of 2020 this year. That's 150% increase year over year that we have seen with contactless payments. Contactless payments being your Apple Pay, your Samsung Pay, Google Wallet. When you're touching with your mobile device or your watch on your wrist there, that has increased substantially because of the pandemic. So being able to make sure that you can accept that payment form and offer that to your customers, I think is especially critical right now, like I said, because people are so conscious of the surfaces that they're touching. I also mentioned online processing, being able to order online, do curbside pickup, shop and purchase online. It says right here, 74% increase in March year over year as well with online shopping. And the thing about online shopping is in 2020 year to date, so through September, we're going to see about $107 billion increase from the e-commerce realm. And we've seen it, here in our local community, the larger box retailers closing up shop because they're not able to compete with the online giants. So being able to have the ability to reach out to customers and touch customers in a new environment is especially crucial. Like I said, that convenience factor. The picture illustrates it. This is what a lot of us do from home, is we shop and we pay online. I've seen a number of businesses that have reached out that simply had, just a about my business page, and completely transforming that here this year into an online shopping store or a payment portal to be able to make a payment where they can come to the website and then have something on the invoice or the bill that states that website address. So, that is a huge focus. And I'm not surprised, any business owners that we chatted with prior to 2020 would tell you that they've looked into the online arena to have their business online or to go online with their business. But they never really had it. It was kind of always on the back burner. And I think with everything that's gone on, a lot of this stuff has put some of these focuses onto the front burner for our business owners. So managing cash flow is obviously a crucial part of the business as well. And payments does give you guys some opportunities to be able to do that in a new way. Whether that be a faster funding time that, most processors have out there nowadays, or offering or passing on a surcharge for credit-based transactions, offering what's called commercial card optimization, which is brand new to our payments industry. And I'll talk about here in a minute, but these are all new ways that you guys are able to help manage and streamline your cash flow a little bit faster and a little bit more cost efficient, without having to look at whatever your rate is or, having to get some sort of new equipment. These are all new ways that most processing companies should have to be able to help you guys optimize that cost savings for you. So we talked about funding time. Funding time is important, and like I said, most companies should offer everyday funding or at least next business day funding. And what this does is this obviously helps you guys get your funds faster to be able to send out payments, make investments, purchase new goods, things like that. So payments is here to try and help you guys out with that cash flow management by speeding up the deposits that you guys are getting from us. When I did talk about lower cost solutions, I did mention back a couple of slides ago about optimization, and that is a new product that we have here. So right now, commercial card acceptance and the amount of commercial cards that are out in the industry right now in business owners' hands hasn't even reached its peak. They're anticipating that should happen here within the next 2 years. It wasn't very long ago that we didn't have these specialized business cards for business owners to utilize for purchases and making payments for their business. And essentially what commercial card optimization does is, right now, if you were to look at a business owner's credit card processing statement, you're going to find a lot of the cards aren't necessarily hitting their optimal tier to qualify for the best rate. And what optimization does is it's a software that was created to plug in the fields that need to be that need to have data in there to be able to have that card optimized at its lowest tier. Now, when we look at commercial card data, what I mean is there's up to 23 different fields that can be entered in so that card can qualify at the best interchange tier. When you're looking at a consumer environment, it's very simple. With consumers, you need the name of the customer, the amount, the billing zip code, and maybe the CVV, the 3-digit code on the back. If it's like a card not present transaction, to get that tier for the consumer side. On the commercial side, it might be that information plus the tax amount or some additional information that's required. And not always does that get put in. So there is software out there. There are processing companies that offer it that would allow you to earn additional cash back with the optimization program. So I encourage you guys to reach out and contact your providers about that. Surcharging. So I know that's a very hot topic right now, since surcharging laws and regulations have changed here within the last couple of years. And surcharging allows businesses to pass on a amount or a percentage of the transaction back to customers. And I know that, we may have seen that in some of the businesses around the area. It's very popular in the public sector when making payments and things like that. But surcharging, it's on the rise as well with the pandemic. And I think that is because consumers have become more sensitive towards businesses through the pandemic and more understanding that, hey, a surcharge is necessary now because of everything that's going on, whether that be, having a business that closed down for a couple of months at the beginning of the year, or the cost of food increasing for restaurants, things like that. There are legitimate reasons now that consumers can and have been more empathetic towards businesses passing on a surcharge now. Now, what I can tell you is in the state of Iowa, you can surcharge on credit-based transactions only. Debit-based transactions would still be passed on to the merchant, whether, if they use a debit card. So I would definitely reach out if that is something you guys are interested in talking to your local providers on, because those things have changed, and there is a way for customers to still pay with a card without necessarily having to be cornered in for a surcharge. So the last slide that I want to talk about here is obviously another big topic is fraud and security. So as our technology gets better, as we're offering more payments in different areas, whether that is online with a mobile reader, in person, over the phone, we want to make sure that we're doing that in a very secure and compliant manner so that our information for our customers is protected, and obviously your business is protected as well. So I would definitely check. It's always good to check every year with your current provider, what type of coverage you have for compliance, how often you guys have to be compliant and certified industry standard states that it's at least once a year. So make sure that you guys do get that done as well. But just having that review for your security is very important for your business. And I definitely recommend, if you guys don't work with anybody that proactively works with you guys on that once a year, take the initiative and definitely reach out to your current providers and see where you guys are for your levels of compliance. So just kind of summarizing everything that we covered real quickly here, because I do want to allow some time for questions. The best thing I can tell you guys is, like I said, 2020 has been a crazy year for all of us. And just accepting debit and credit cards, it's not enough nowadays. We have to listen to our customers. We have to observe what our customers are wanting to do as far as what areas they're wanting to make payments in. And the more opportunities you have for your customers to be able to take payments, the more successful I think we are going to be moving forward as a whole. And that's on the business side, I think the consumer side, and the employees as well for the businesses too. So I'm going to pause right there and open it up for questions.
Go ahead and begin to put those in the chat box. I see my friend Roberta Pulse out there. She wondered if the slides would be available afterwards, and I believe we will have those available. So no problem there. I know we have quite a good variety of businesses on today. We've got some manufacturers, we've got some retail, we've got some insurance. So nice mix from all the different sectors. Not seeing any specific questions come in, but sometimes those will come in afterwards, and we certainly can make the connection to Brad directly, or you can feel free to reach out to him yourself. But this is a lot of really great information that you gave us today, so we appreciate that. Seeing no questions right this moment, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We've got another webinar coming up tomorrow. And that is supporting our workforce and return to learn, featuring attorneys Matthew Pappas and Allison Wright. That'll be at 10:30 tomorrow morning. And you're going to learn more about the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, leave entitlements and issues, and fact-specific recommendations for managing employee requests to address child care and remote learning schedules. So lots of information, all extremely timely. We wish you a great week. The weekend's almost here. Have a great day. And this webinar has been recorded and will be available on our website. So Brad, thanks again for all your great information. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yep. We'll see y'all soon. Thank you so much.